The East Line is a railway corridor from Prince George to Jasper. In the early 1900s, construction on the railway began, and homesteads and logging camps sprung up along the route to supply the railway. By the 1920s, communities started to establish around the large sawmills, including Gizcom, Alisa Lake, Longworth, Penny, and Dome Creek. There's many relics and reminders of the past along the route. These communities were completely dependent on the railway for jobs and transportation. Many people lived and died out here, with their only transportation they ever knew being the railway. With the eventual construction of good roads and the more efficient modern logging equipment, mills had to modernize or they would have to close altogether. The last mill closed in the early 2000s, and all the towns are in severe decline today. Penny had several mills that operated from 1916 to 1994. Today there is no industry and no jobs. The community hall and the old store still remain. I believe there are a few year-round residents, but the rest of the houses are just weekend cottages or abandoned. In the spring, you can go weeks without seeing a tire track through the mud. Penny was the last town in Canada to have its mail delivered by train, with the service ending in 2013. Down on the Fraser River, the remains of the last mill are slowly being swallowed up by the forest they once logged. The saws, conveyors, and planers are still there today. This beehive burner would have glowed at night as it burned off all the wood waste from the mill. This smaller burner is so well hidden, it has to make you wonder what else the forest has reclaimed. The history books say Longworth had a large mill, but I can't find the remains of it. And if you blink, you will likely miss downtown. There it is. A post office and a community hall. They have an antique road grader proudly on display. This is what remains of the community's Sinclair Mills. This looks like an old schoolhouse, but apart from the grass being mowed, I've never seen any activity around it. You'll never go very far on the East Line without seeing an abandoned house. This is the only remains I can find of the mill, just a beehive burner. The equipment likely just sat on dirt, as I can't find any cement foundations. This is one of the more fascinating buildings I've found. It's a bank safe. I've found many of these around Canada. There would be a metal safe bolted to the back wall. I'm so curious to know if it's still in there. Upper Fraser had the last mill to operate on the East Line, closing in the early 2000s. Some of the houses behind these offices were built by the company, and they were auctioned off after the closure, and people relocated them. The rest appear to be abandoned. This office sat abandoned for 15 years, and then somebody moved in there for about 5 years, but now it's abandoned again. This was the most modern mill in the area. You can still see the old telegraph lines in many parts of the East Line. Alisa Lake appears to have a mix of year-round residents and weekend cottages. Some of the abandoned houses have fallen down in the last few years. This is a more modern abandoned house, but it appears to have foundation problems. An old timer gave me directions to the graveyard, but I could only find this old house. It can be really hard to tell what is abandoned and what isn't out here. The town of Gizcom is on the west side of Eaglet Lake. This is also where the old mill was. The first mill opened in 1911. Hidden in the trees here are the old cement foundations the boilers that ran the mill would have sat on. They would have powered steam engines that ran the equipment. This street had company-owned houses, but they have since been torn down, and now they are just industrial lots. Except for this old abandoned church. When I was first here 8 years ago, these houses were abandoned, but somebody has since moved into them, and this is how they look today. The general store in Willow River was built in 1938 and has survived the population decline. Some of the houses sit abandoned, and some others have been torn down recently. Just the pumps remain at the gas station. This is the bridge that connects the East Line to Prince George. Today there is severe decline in the entire forest industry in British Columbia. There are many factors, such as wildfires, the pine beetle, and warmer winters causing a decline in some types of trees. Many people also point to the newer government policy factors, such as permitting delays, forest conservation, and high stumpage fees, making previous economic timber now uneconomical.